Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited that you are here joining in for Danny's live party. Listen, grab some people. We want you to put some people in the names to invite them to join this live feed. But if you are in the greater Dallas area, it is not too late to come on out. Listen, I flew in all the way from Southern California today. So if I flew in from Southern California, you can come on in here to Dallas because we're excited. Yes, yes. So listen, sit back. We're going to kick some welcomes and some congratulations that we have with Danny. But we are so excited about this launch of Danny. Yes, I am, for those of you who don't know, thank you, Jasmine. I am Martina Sellers. I title myself as a mental health hygienist. But just like we take a bath every day and we do those things to keep our physical body healthy, we have to do the same thing of keeping our mental bodies healthy as well. So right now, let's kick off with a couple of congratulations that we have for Danny right now. So stay tuned.
Would you ever thought 10 to 15 years ago that you would have been the author of not only one book, but now 2 books? I pray that God continues to enlarge your territory, that you will continue to reach people, help them to heal and become all that they can be. Congratulations on your new book, and I hope it's bigger and better than the last.
Hi, it's Lisa Eliason, and I just want to congratulate Danny Ross on the accomplishment of this exciting book. His work on the messages we carry has been essential and useful for counselors at this time. He's really making a difference for counselors, clients, and for especially with this draft of the children. Thank you, Danny, and we're really excited to see this book come out and appreciate what you're doing for us. Congratulations and good luck with it.
Hey, Danny Ross. This is Dr. Snell, your professional colleague and your friend. I just wanted to send out my sincerest congratulations to you on your new books regarding the messages we carry. As we know, the messages we carry begin in childhood. And to see you develop a book aimed at processing the messages we carry in children and parents of children is remarkable. I know that you will change many lives with the book that you're releasing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to be able to call you my professional colleague and my friend. Best wishes.
Danny, I just wanted to wish you the best this week as you release your new book. This book is such a gift to parents and to anyone who needs to examine those messages that we tell ourselves. I just appreciate you so much, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Congratulations, Danny Ross, on another bestseller. Your first release rocked the nation and this generation. We are excited about what you're going to give us in this next season with this new release that you're about to drop. You have been such an incredible blessing to so many. You've grown us, you've stretched us, you've encouraged us, and we can't wait to grow more with this new deposit that you're about to give to us with this release. Well wishes to you on a job well done. So proud of you. Congratulations.
Hi, Mr. Ross. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to let you know that I'm so proud of you, what you have done. Look at you now, it's your 4th book. I just want to congratulate you on this new book release, and I'm so proud. My mom loved it. I always knew you were going to do big things. I just want to let you know you have changed me, and then I bet you have changed a lot of other people's life during your journey, and I know you definitely saved and changed my life. I'm always thankful for what you have done, and please keep it going. Come on, Team Ross. See you later, man.
Congratulations, Danny, on another outstanding job. I can't tell you how proud I am of the work that you are doing and your latest book, which is geared towards families and children. This kind of work is so overdue, and knowing you and the kind of person that you are going to be helping so many people get into the work quickly. So, friend, I just want to say congratulations, and I can't wait to hear all about the rave reviews, and thank you for all that you have done for me as a colleague, but more importantly, for all the things that you've done for me as a friend.
Hey Danny, this is Katina, your baby sister. I just wanted to wish you well on the release of your next book. I am so proud at how you're allowing God to use you and how you're using your past experiences and your current circumstances to reach out and help other people. I pray nothing but blessings upon you. May God continue to use you in a way that can help others and help yourself. I love you.
Hello. Okay, we're back. Wow, Danny. Okay.
Hey, let's get in frame.
We're in frame now.
Hey, we're in frame.
Yes. Okay, Danny, you got to introduce Angie.
I must introduce Angie. Angie is one of the most awesome people I know. She gave me, you gave me my job as a counselor, my first job in
Oh,
counseling.
you owe her a lot.
I owe her a prop, mad prop.
Yeah. Did he give you dinner yet?
He paid me back tenfold for what he did on that campus.
Okay.
And we also had a really great time, and we're good friends, and we remain friends even after leaving the school. And one of the things I really valued about Angie is when I decided to move to something else, she was all supportive, and she says, I want to see you grow. That is a great friend and a great leader who wants to see you grow and to see you move. So I say kudos. I've never really just told you that meant more to me than anything.
Well, thank you, Danny.
And so she is going to be co-hosting tonight.
Oh, co-hosting. Putting those skills to the test. Danny, this is all about you.
Yes.
Your night, your lunch, your new books.
Yes.
So we are all so proud of you. I know I speak for Marty as well, and we just wish you just the most congratulations
Thank
on
you.
these 2 new publications.
Yes. You know I got my contacts here.
So somebody gonna have to have
Somebody's
a phone.
gonna get it.
Okay, look. Okay, yes. Okay, but listen, please go back and make sure you order this book. We're gonna go more into Angie. You got to tell us at least one story about Danny. I know you got a lot, but at least one story about Danny.
I have to roll through the Rolodex here and pick a good one that would be appropriate for this video.
Yes.
So, we were always on a diet. Always on a diet. Always holding each other accountable. Remember the sticky note? We had a sticky note and we would weigh in.
Yes.
And write it down, and we never.
Not every day, I hope.
No, every Monday.
Oh, every month. Okay.
Which was a terrible idea.
Daily thing.
That is bad.
It is. It
Throw the
is.
scale away. You are more than a number.
Yes, we are more than
That's
that.
good.
But we had a really good time. We did a lot of challenging work, helped a lot of families, a lot of students, a lot of teachers, but always seemed to find the joy in what we were doing. And you know, speaking of that, I really is reading the newest.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead and touch it. Go ahead and touch it.
Yes. Yes.
Messages to my child.
Yes.
I know him. Every time I see it, I'm like, I know this. I know him. You know, that finding the joy in parenthood and really thinking about it is hard, it is challenging. I personally have some challenges.
We all do.
Listen, Danny was always like, I need you to be my personal counselor. So he probably.
It's
really
some
ripped from
good
the
stuff
headlines
in there.
in here.
He is my personal counselor.
Right.
Yes, so
There you go.
I'm on the schedule every 2 weeks.
No.
But that's what I appreciate about this book. You really recognize the challenges that parents face, that children face, teens. I really like.
Yes.
As a mom of 2 teenagers, there's a teen component in the workbook and ways to ask those questions that maybe parents wouldn't know how to do. I think
Especially in
that's
changing times.
absolutely.
I have a 31-year-old, a 23, and no one in here judge me. A 5-year-old. Stop it. But parenting now, my 5-year-old is so different. She's talking about iPads and all this stuff. I couldn't even spell iPad at 5 years old. And they know how to navigate through all of that. So how do we protect our children today and from all the other things to come? But I love this because even when we did our show on Tuesday, just the topics alone, dealing with friendships, dealing with bullying, and some of the other things that these young people have to face today, you address all those things that I love in this book. So thank you, Dan.
Yes, thank you guys.
Yes. Okay, we have some people here. But let's bring a couple of people up to bring some congratulations. I'm going to have you call because I don't want to mess names up.
Come on, Delora.
Come on, Delora. Come on up. Come on down.
I'm going to let you know.
Yeah, you know I wasn't prepared for this, but there's an old saying, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
You don't have to sit ready.
And I believe in that. So,
Yes.
Well, I've been knowing Danny. We sat in our LPC supervisor class approximately a year ago, last August, and we just connected, and we just been staying in touch. And I'm so excited about these books. I'm ready to get my books. I got my other book for my signature. The messages.
The messages
I want signed copies, and I just want to say congratulations. I'm so grateful for the work that you do. I'm referring people, especially African American males, like just to come so they can, get some therapy and start talking and exploring the messages. And thank you so much. I've had a chance to look at some excerpts, but I'm excited about messages to my child and my teenager. And is excited about my messages. And if she's not, she will be.
She will be.
So congratulations,
Thank
Danny.
you so much.
Can I ask you before you go, why is this type of book and workbook so needed, especially in our communities of color, where there really is a lack of resources or a lack of things that we can go to today?
Well, it's the messages, because, that's his brand. So it's
Right.
the messages about, so we always have to look at what messages we are giving.
Right.
Either verbal or nonverbal, subliminal messaging, messages that we received.
That's why we got a live show. We love it. We love it.
And so it's imperative that we start exploring those messages and be able to talk to our children and have our children be able to talk back to us.
Yes.
And as you were stating, my children, their ages are 37, 35, 26, and 16.
Okay, I love that. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I'm a different mom for
Right.
all of them.
Right.
They all need different messages and different ways to parent them.
Right. Like my daughter just called me, the 31-year-old, right before we're going live, needing some things, but she always says that she always says that she broke me in. For the little ones.
For the other ones.
Right.
Yes.
And you can attest to that. We parent differently for the children.
That's right.
Because all of them have their own personality, but thank you
That's exactly
so
right.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I appreciate you being here.
Yes. Ange, don't come on back up, Ange. We got you. We got you.
You got a full night.
I got my phone in my glasses.
So we have Tari and Nye.
Come on down. Now, you got some congratulations. I'm gonna read some of them. But Tori, come on up, Tori.
How you doing? So I want to talk about Mr. Danny right now.
We get the real truth now.
Hey, this my man. I worked with him my very first year of teaching at Keller ISD, and we've had some interesting conversations during our time there. And I remember I used to always peek my head into his office, and we would have some good in-depth conversations. And that relationship, just for that year, he molded me and he brought me in, and he got me to go speak on the messages we carry.
Yes.
And
an ambassador. Yes.
Now, when I tell you, the words in that book alone was so powerful.
Right.
Like I'm reading this book and answering all the questions, and I'm like, wow, I never went that deep before. Like took a deep dive into myself like that before. We always ask ourselves surface level questions when we look in the mirror because we're scared of the answers that we might face. And so when I start answering these questions, I'm like, man, like I'm scared to continue. You know, I'm like, I don't want to flip the page, but something in me makes me want to learn more about myself. And so this man right here, I know with the messages to my child, any book that he comes up with that asks you to answer questions about yourself and about how to handle any type of situations, this man has it. He has all the questions that you need. He has all the resources that you need. This man right here, I can't kudos to this man. I can't praise him enough. You know what I'm saying? This man right here, man. Congratulations.
I so appreciate you. That means
hey, it's all love, brother. It's all love, brother.
I so appreciate it.
And I appreciate everything that you did.
Give me some.
All right, yeah.
I would love for Courtney Bailey. Courtney Bailey, come up here. We go way back, we go way back.
So remember, if you're in the Arlington and the DC and the Dallas area, yes, you still can come on down. Where we at?
Bob Duncan Center.
I knew it was at a Bob. We're at the Bob Duncan Center.
2800 South Center Street.
Google Bob Duncan. Just get here.
Well, I'm Courtney Bailey, and as Danny said, we go way back. At least what, 15 years? 15 plus, I should say. Yeah. And I just want to say that throughout the years, I have such a great respect for this man, because not only are we colleagues and we're family.
Yes, we are.
I mean, there are times I read his book and I call him, this is what you said. I wish I had. My kids are 28 and 25, and even the other day, I'm like, Danny, if I had this book when I was raising my kids, I would have answered so many questions. But I have to say, I'm very, very, I'm proud of you. And I know that what's in this book, and what's in all of your books actually, is genuine, it's from your heart, and it's enlightening, and it's real. So I'm excited, I'm encouraging everyone to read these books. And go back to the messages we keep, and the messages we carry, and then just keep reading, because you will definitely, it will definitely be a blessing to you. It was to me, and they are to me, and it's only to make you better. And relationships, there's always room for improvement with relationships. So why not start today and read the books and learn and get the information we need to just be better. So all in all, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. You're awesome. You too. Dr. Jackson, Dr. Tashara Jackson.
Come on, Dr. J.
You come up here and you just calm and say.
I've known Danny for 10 years. It's been I think it's 10 years. I have every last one of his books.
Come on.
The newest ones I won 2 weeks ago.
All right.
I won them 2 weeks ago. Very happy. So my collection is complete. And I keep buying books because I keep giving them away.
Right. All right. Yeah.
I work with at-risk and high-risk teens and young adults, and I give this book away constantly, because it is powerful, it's meaningful, it's practical. I'm very into practicality now. And it's practical, it's something that can be picked up and worked through. If you choose to do it individually, you can do it individually. If you choose to work through with others in a group setting or with professional counselor therapists, it's flexible in how you can use it in the setting you can use it in.
Yes.
I highly respect you, Danny. I highly respect you as a counselor, as a former co-worker, as a friend.
I don't know how to
I admire it.
I receive it. You're right. We talked about it.
So, my pitch, go out and get
all
of them. As a person who works, my specialty is with at-risk youth and young adults. We have to get our children and their parents or guardians on the same page and talk the same language. That's right. And that's what this book is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bell.
Cesar Gomez, could you just come up
16 years. That's how long our friendship essentially has been. Over the years, it really has been a joy to not only have worked alongside of you, but just to see how you have evolved as a person, as a professional. Since then, you were highly committed to excellence. You were committed to, and I remember having conversations about the importance of having resources that really spoke to minority groups. Black and brown communities have very unique needs that oftentimes in the curriculum that we were given by certain agencies, it was just not meeting the need. And I remember hearing your frustration. I remember hearing how important it was for you to find those resources. So to be sitting here, honoring the work that you've done and recognizing the legacy that you're leaving behind, not only for yourself, but I think for our field, is incredibly rewarding as your friend. So we are very thankful for the effort that you put in, that you poured all your knowledge, your experiences, and your heart into these resources. So for that, we are all very thankful. Love you, man.
Love you, sir. Thank you, sir. I have one person I really want to bring up, and she's like a ride or die at one of my schools we used to work at, Miss Virginia Campbell. I know you just got in. That's my girl. She makes me laugh. Yes, but we just come on up and just kind of share whatever you want to share. All right. You know, you're good.
I wish there was a mic and a camera this angle.
What does she need? I want to make sure she has the right questions. She's just
Yeah. This is your show.
Well, I'm just so proud of you, Dan. You know, I'm very proud of you. Working with him, I was his assistant principal, and again, just like the other gentleman had said it before, Danny created such wonderful programs for our students. We were constantly looking at ways that we could talk to the kids about grief and about things they were going through, and Danny just created such an awesome job, and it worked so well with our students. And my last year, when Danny wasn't there last year, that really put me in a bind because the kids needed him. He's been an awesome counselor. He's a mentor to several of our students, and he's going to continue to do great work. And I'm just so thankful and honored and grateful for you and who you are and what you do for our kids, because you're going to love them very much. And I appreciate everything that you've done. Me, knowing me, but for my kids and my own personal kids, students as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Maryland to be doctor. Maryland will serve that pretty soon. What we're writing our dissertation now. Come on. She's almost there.
Danny, that's my friend. Yes. Oh man, he's my mentor, and I am so proud of you, Danny. We met. It was kind of like we were connected as soon as we met each other, and I have watched him grow. Like I said, he is my mentor, and I am just so excited. All of his books are awesome. I can't wait to read The Child, the messages. And it's so important to our community, as others have mentioned before, to our Black and brown communities, because we need something that's practical. We need something that is just to the point, and it just gets us there. And when I was reading the first book, I was like, wow, he is speaking to me. And I also, like others, said that they were texting Danny and sharing, and it's like, wow, you're talking to me, you know. And so I won't stay long here. I'm gonna land my plane, but I adore Danny. Buy his book, support him. He is awesome. He is making history, and I'm so proud of what you're doing. Thank you.
I wanted to see, I had a former student here, and I wanted to see if he would just say just one or two things one or two big comments. One of the things I like about our relationship, some relationships you discontinue.
Right.
But this one went beyond just teacher-student relationship, teacher-counselor relationship. I saw purpose in him. I saw so much more in this student than he was showing me. And I'm so happy to see where he is today and to be here with me tonight. He calls me uncle. And I used to be dad, but now I'm uncle because he said, "Oh, you're too young to be my dad." So, but I just want you to say a few things, just whatever you want to say. This is Sebastian.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I haven't really read the books yet, but Mr. Ross has been like beyond my dad. You know, I struggled my high school year. You know, I did some stuff that I'm not proud of, and if it wasn't because Mr. Ross, I wouldn't be able to graduate. You know, he really guided me when my parents couldn't help me. You know, and I just love him. I can't believe that you have done so far, and you have done all this. You know, we always talk about working on it, and you know, I'm always texting you, checking on you. He works 24/7. If it's his day off, if he's not in the suit, you still text him. He's gonna reply back to you or call you. Like, he's been there for me. You know, like.
Okay, you tried to make me. Oh, this is great. Angie, all they have to do is go to my website, themessages.net. That's the easiest way. Go to www.themessages.net and go ahead and pick up these books. They're only $15 each. And one of the things I like about these books, they're easy to read. I wrote them in a very conversational style. I could have used a lot of technical language, but I said nobody wants to hear all that.
And I will echo that. I wanted to say that it's written in a way that nobody feels, or I don't think people would feel talked down to or doing something wrong, or it's just I'm having a conversation with Danny Ross. It's very easy to work through. It doesn't sound scary. And at the end of the day, I don't want to read anything that makes me feel bad, like I'm wrong. It's just about progress and reflecting. And if you have someone in your house, a partner, a spouse, a child, and I don't want to read, look at it. That doesn't overwhelm anybody. I'm real.
Questions on the inside?
They're awesome.
That's the piece.
So Danny, what would be the best way to work through that with maybe a reluctant child?
You know, the thing is, I want them to go at their own pace. Maybe take a section or two, like we talk in school, chunking it a little bit, like let's do this half this morning, and maybe tomorrow we do it later, and then we kind of go through the first part as a family. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have something for parents, and then I wanted to have something with teens, and I wanted them to put it together and start having the conversations that need to be had. A lot of times we're talking at each other, and we're not really listening, and we're waiting for that point where I can get mine in, my word in, versus listening, honoring the conversation, what's needed out of the relationship, seeing what your child needs versus what I want.
And so many of the introductions to each chapter, working hand in hand with teachers. We got a lot of educators in here, and don't we like that chapter, working hand in hand with teachers? It's a partnership. But why is it so important for me as a parent to understand how I was parented?
Yes.
Why is that so important?
It's so important because a lot of times we produce a lot of those same things that we didn't like, but we end up doing the same thing. I didn't like my mama yelling at me. I didn't like my daddy yelling at me, but here I am. What am I doing? Yelling. Get over there and do those dishes now. Does he need to do it now, or does he need to get the job done? That's the kind of language we have to start thinking about. What is the outcome that you want? So instead of trying to do it like mom and dad of yesteryear, because that may not work for today's kids, just to let you know, these kids have a lot of different things that are happening and going on in their life, far different from when you were in school. So I want you to honor and really try to understand what the world of the student
work together as a family with our licensed professional? Is that an option?
Oh, that is a great option, because a lot of times we go into sessions and we just start talking about what's the problem. But what I like about what I wrote is it gives you a guideline, and a lot of times we want to skip and fix the problem when we don't know the history. In my books, we talk about the history and we start working towards solutions as we understand the history and we understand the needs of the young individual. And sometimes there are needs of the parent that are not spoken. So one of the things I really try to do is make sure that we understand each other's needs, because parents need certain things for their child and from the family.
Wonderful. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Yes.
So everybody here and everybody out there is so proud of you, Danny.
Oh, this is good.
Yes.
So we're ready to start the presentation. I think we can turn the lights down just a little bit. This is working today. I probably moved it. So I want to ask the first, what was your family's way of handling hard subjects or topics? Did they not talk about it? Did they avoid? Hope you would figure it out, have open dialogue, put everything out on the table. So I want you to just kind of take like 30 seconds to talk about that. How did your family deal with things like that? Just talk to who you're close to. So I'd love for like one or two people to share out. How did you handle hard conversations? Just shout out. Raise your hand if you want to.
Not talk about it. That was out in the
Not
sisters
talk
in our
about
families.
it.
They didn't talk about it.
Virginia, not avoidance. Okay. Push it under the rug. Okay. And I want to ask another question. What did you learn from learning those communication styles? Did you learn anything from that? No.
Learn not to talk about it.
That's it. You learn not to talk about it.
Yep.
So, how are you with communication in your family? And I want you to think about this. Are you at a 1, 2, 3, or 4? Now, as I get to it, I want you to just raise that finger that you know. So 1 means I could do better. 2 means I'm doing pretty fair. 3, I'm doing a good job. And 4, I'm doing a great job and I feel confident. So let me see your fingers. Just hold them up. Okay, I see some 2s. I see a 4. I see some 4s. I see some 4s. I see some 2s. I see some. Okay. Hold them up again.
Question.
2. Okay.
Are we talking about current family or are we still talking about past? No, I'm talking about current.
That's a good one. Let's do past and let's do current. Okay. Past. What are we doing past?
Okay. We weren't doing nothing.
Well, I have another caveat. Okay, I can communicate. What about, that's why I want the book, because I'm doing all right. I learned how to talk. So I want that for my teenager, and I wish my family, because I can speak for myself, I can communicate, but will they communicate back? Or will they keep avoiding? Will they, so.
This is good.
Yeah.
And I raised this question to do a personal inventory to see where you are. Because I believe we have to start looking at us as individuals first before we can do anything with anyone else.
Diane Mackey said 2 on the chat.
She said 2. Diane Mackey said 2 on the chat. All y'all was supposed to be
Regina Hood said avoided and then 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You got a chat facilitator.
I wasn't sure if there's somebody doing that.
Yeah, give me those. Now, Regina said what?
Regina Hood said avoid and then she said 4.
Avoid and she said
4.
Just give everyone one. They just need to just open it up and give everybody one. So, I want to ask you a question. What's the difference between this tree? Can you pass it out? Because that'll help. Go quick. Okay. What's the difference between this tree and this tree? Who can tell me?
Time.
Time. Okay.
Growth.
Growth. Okay. What else? Roots.
Environment.
Environment. Keep going. Y'all did good. One is authentic and one is
One's fake and one's real.
one fake it and one is
Size. One's
Size.
small, one's long.
This is. Who can tell me the name of this tree?
Bonsai.
A bonsai tree. Did you know that there is no difference between a bonsai tree and a regular tree? The difference is in the pruning. Come on now.
Come on now.
I could take a text with that. The difference is in the pruning.
My God.
The difference is in, don't give me that. Yeah, but seriously, it's all about the pruning. It's all about the pruning. I want you to hold up your seed. That seed starts out the same way this seed started out. What we decided to do with this one, we decided to prune it differently as it was growing. As we pruned it, we shaped it and we molded it or contoured it into a place that it represented what we wanted it to represent. Now, how many of you know that we sometimes prune and we prune the wrong things? Okay? So we know Albert Adler, one of the things he says most of our life is about work, friends, and intimate relationships. How many of you know that most of those are sometimes out of balance? They are out of balance, and that's the first thing that we have to look at. There are relationships that we have that need to be pruned. They need to be picked through. They need to be nurtured. They need to be grown. And sometimes it's that personal relationship with yourself before you can do anything else with someone else. So I'm going to leave this right here in the front of my podium so y'all can see this as we look at how this tree was pruned. Okay? Okay?
Looking good.
Now, from the very beginning of time, we've had messages, we've had overt messages, and we've had those subliminal messages. I was thinking about being an educator. There are certain things you learn from the textbook, and then there are certain things you learn from the culture. But I want you to think about your culture. What is your culture at home? What is your culture when it comes to communication? What is your culture when it comes to being open, to being honest, to sharing? Do you have a platform that allows that? Think about it. Okay? I want you to fill in these statements as they come up. Most of you know.
Stays in this house.
What goes on in this house?
Stays in this house.
Come on. Don't you go to that school telling them
All
your
my
business. Don't you want them? Do you want them to take them from Do you want them to take them from me? Yeah.
From me.
From me. Yeah, that's what it was. It's better to be seen and
Not heard.
pray about
Everything.
Why do you guys think you guys know those things so well?
Those are the messages. Those were the messages.
You were pruned to know that's what you needed to be. Conditioning, programming, pruning. So I want to get into parent, child. These are the 3 ego types. I love transactional analysis theory. So for me, this is the premise of the messages we carry. Transactional analysis theory. We have the teacher and the parent relationship. We have the child relationship, and we have the adult relationship. We want to be in the adult relationship, but most of us fall prey to that child relationship. You are a full man or woman, but when you're faced with certain situations or things remind you or you're triggered, I go back to my child.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is silence and reprogram and prune in a different way the messages of the parents, the teachers, those people that we've encountered who told us who we were. What we want to do is be the adult that we're supposed to be. The adult is the person who uses, they balance the conversation. They allow the child to have feelings. They allow the person to share how they truly feel and not go off on it. It's not my way or the highway. We allow the person to be the person that they're supposed to be and learning how to have diplomatic conversations. This is my mom and my daddy. From an early age, I knew that I was a preacher's kid. I knew that before I knew anything else. And being a preacher's kid meant that you were supposed to be a good person. You were supposed to act a certain way. You were supposed to look a certain way. You don't go out in public doing certain things because you're Reverend Ross's child. And Reverend Ross's children know how to act, and they know what they're supposed to be doing. And I think about how all of that pressure, all of that conditioning, all of that pruning kind of squashed me sometimes. It created an illusion to where I was this person, but was I this person genuinely, or was I this person because I was pruned and conditioned and told who I was supposed to be? Transaction analysis. I look at those different faces. I look at the different things that are in the windows of those eyes. I look at that first picture. I think I was like 1 or 2. That second picture, my sister always corrects me. I think I was in 3rd or 5th grade. She's gonna put it on here if she sees it. And I hated my graduation picture. Look at my ears. I can laugh at them now. But my ears were sticking out, and probably nobody even noticed. Nope. But it was the message that I was telling myself. It was the message I was hearing. Right here in the 4th picture, I'm becoming a little more confident and stable in who I am. And, Marcine and Angie are putting me in places to exercise some of the things that made me feel as though I was afraid. But they saw things in me. They said, exercise that thing that you know can help other people. Started pruning in a different way. I look at the last picture. I'm passionate about the plight of brown and black children, families, men, because of where it all started. I was pruned a certain way, and now I'm evolving into the person that I'm supposed to be. I look at this part, I had to go back. I had to go back and see what's there, to go to this place that I am in my presence. Talk about ego stage. I want you to think of a statement that you heard that really, really sticks with you? And I'm not going to ask you to say it out loud. That message can be good or bad, but that message can dictate who you become, what you think about yourself. I know a lot of you were looking to see maybe a presentation that was going to tell you how to talk to your kids, do A, B, and C, but this is more reflective. It's more about you looking at yourself and seeing what's in you that needs to be reassessed, reprogrammed, readdressed. Look at those statements. Some of those statements say, I'm not enough. I'm healthy transcripts. I'm not good enough. I am dumb. I am lazy. I'm just like my parents. I am defective. All in the message. And sometimes we don't say that overtly. Messages that are healthy, unhealthy, and healthy. Unworthy, dumb, messed up, hopeless. Let's speak life. Let's speak hope, worthiness. I'm smart. You're here with a purpose. If we do not know where we are heading each other, we will probably end up in the wrong place. A lot of us have no direction as to where we're going when we work as a family. I want you to think about, what is that future family that you want to see? What does that conversation look like? What do you want it to look like? And ask yourself, am I putting those type things into the conversation to build my family in the way that it should go? Ask yourself, when will you know that healthy communication exists in your family? What does that look like? When will that happen? How will you know your communication is better? What will that look like? Maybe you won't be yelling. Maybe you won't always fussing. Maybe you won't come home from work and plop in that chair and never say anything. How will you know that you are communicating in a way that is healthy towards the goals of your family? Think about it. What are the goals that you want for your family? We want to create exceptions. When do you notice that your family and your communication is going well? When do you hear the less negative conversations? When do you notice that you are a better team player? Look for those exceptions. These are the things that you have to do more of. When you discover the exceptions, what would happen if you made the exceptions more permanent? What would happen if you made the exception more permanent? When I'm in session, a lot of times people think that things are going to happen magically. Yeah. We got to first start noticing, and we got to start admitting that something is off here. Something is not right. And when I do have a good day, I have to notice it, and I have to expound on it so I can do more of that. Create a checklist to keep you aware of changes that have started to occur because of your better communication. You know, a good checklist is your child, your spouse, a parent. They will tell you about yourself if you have a safe environment to talk and to say, well, really, Mama, do you really want to know how you come across? I'm about to say, you mean it. No. They will tell you if you set that platform to where they can be honest, but many a times they're not in a place where they can be honest. We know sad and happy. Everybody knows that. But what are the emotions in between? I notice this a lot of times with my male clients. There is no dialogue to talk about emotions beyond sad and happy. And I notice with my female clients that there's a lot of, there's more language there when it comes to descriptive type language for emotions. I would love for young men to be supported in developing language that supports their emotions. So when they go to school, they're just not mad, and they can't articulate to the teacher what's wrong. They can't articulate it because they don't have the language. We have to give them the language. We're doing it injustice to our kids. Stop. Now, I know in my house, this came through. Stop. I can give you something to cry about. Boys and men do not cry. Now, not just in my house, but in my culture, in my community. This was a practice that we established in my family. You don't talk about your feelings. And it wasn't just the boys. It was also girls.
Yeah. And I was told big girls don't cry.
Big
I was
girls.
the oldest. So that's the message.
But you know who that works for? The adults. That works for the adults. Big girls don't cry. Yeah, that makes you turn off for the adults so they can go on about their business. But we're not dealing with the stuff. Yeah. Why can't you just show a tiny bit of emotion? I would have to say this is probably 80% of what I see with my male clients. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You get told to squash it, you're pruned and told to squash it. Yeah. But then, when it's time for you to be in this adult thing called marriage, relationship, go to work, do what you're supposed to do, communicate, I can't show my emotions. It's just hard for me. That's just not what I do. Why? Because it wasn't cultivated. It was not cultivated. What my time looking like? Who I sure feel like I'm sure. What time is it? 5. Okay. I got 5 minutes. Okay. I really want us to talk about ways trauma reactions may show up in parenting. Wow, that's good. You expect your child to be rational all the time. You constantly feel a lack of control. It's hard to develop a bond or play with your child. You frequently disassociate or feel toxic shame around your child. Difficulty is triggering to see your child's frustrations because you learn anger is bad and wrong. Difficulty regulating yourself when your child is dysregulated. I have seen this too much. Your child's age reminds you of a trauma you experienced at their age. Yeah. Your child's emotions lead to reactions in you, flight, fight, and freeze, that you don't understand. You expect your child to meet your emotional needs. Now, if this ain't stepping off the code, yeah, right. It is. But the one that I really look at sometimes, you expect your child to be rational all the time. He's a kid. He's an adolescent. He doesn't have the history. He doesn't have the knowledge that you guys have. And that's one of the things that I have to remind my clients of. How many of you know what 5 to 1 means? Tashara, okay. Tashara, do you mind sharing 5 to 1?
5 positive connections from every 1 negative.
5 positive connections for every 1 negative. Now, think about how we just have those layers and layers and layers of negativity, and we don't pour into those kids the positive. We don't pour into those kids the things that they can become. We don't pour into those kids the things that I see in you. We don't pour into those kids those things that I know you to be a good kid. You see my young man, that's what we talked about. I didn't judge him. I said, I see purpose in you. I see value. And so we have to change our language to see purpose, to see value, even when they're not showing us those things.
That's good.
3 C's, I'm going to give it to you real fast. Kids, everybody wants connection. Everybody wants compassion. Everybody wants to be a contributor. We have to find the ways that we contribute and how we can give. This is POC. Now, it doesn't stand for POC or anything, none of that. It stands for pruning, observation, and cultivation. What am I pruning over here? What am I pruning over here? And as I'm pruning, I'm observing. I'm seeing if the leaves are turning brown. if my words are tearing them down. I'm seeing is the soil looking good. And then I'm cultivating. I see authority in you. I see purpose in you. I see destiny in you. I see that you're going to go to this school, you're going to do what you're supposed to do, and you are going to be the young lady that I know you to be. Those are the words that we must start speaking into our families. Oh, okay. Okay, very good. Restructuring negative communication. What have you noticed about your communication style? What have you learned from your communication style? In what way are you determined to have the kind of communication experiences that you want? Not what somebody else's wants, but what you want for your family, what you decided is important for you. As we go into this new school year, I really want you, those of you who are at home, I'm doing a parenting workshop. It's on September the 18th. It's on a Saturday. It's called Positive Messages for a Healthy School Year. It's part of a parenting university. You can sit in the comfort of your own home. Go to my website, themessages.net. It's only $35 for 2 people. And that's only through the 8th of September. $35 for 2 people. And after that, it goes to $25. But things of what I'm talking about right now, we're going to go and explore, and it's going to last from 9 to 10:30. I would love to see you in the place, connecting with us, so that you can learn more about this thing called communication. Thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you so much for attending. Before I go any further, I just want to say thank you all who came out. I mean, it's so many to name. I just say thank you guys for coming out. Those of you who are in the audience, Marty flew in today. I have so many friends here who gave up their evenings. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Marty, I'm going to turn it over to whatever we're going to do next. I think this ends our online portion. And Courtney, is there something else? There's some refreshments and books to buy.
All right.
Refreshments and books to buy. You can use the PayPal. If you can use PayPal, just use your scanner. We have a Square Reader. You can use that to purchase your books. And we also have cash. So however you want to get your books, come and get your books today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah.
Are we proud of Danny or
The
what?
shift between parents and teens is within reach. With his latest book, Messages to My Child and My Messages, licensed professional counselor Danny L. Ross teaches readers how to strengthen family bonds by recognizing and rewriting negative messages for teens and their parents. When what you're already doing isn't working, it's time to try a new way. Messages to My Child and My Messages is your guide. To get your copies, visit www.themessages.net. Or for more information, you may call our office at 817-989-6332, extension 701.